All right, that was my fault.
It's in the cemetery.
We said last time, delivered, she reads it all the well, she was bad too, but.
All right.
She's good
I
to
guess I'll do the thing again. We already did it, so. Okay. Call the Dalton Township Board of Trustees meeting May 11 to order. I think, yeah, 6:01.
Okay.
Nola, could you do the invocation?
I can. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for this glorious day that you've made for us in this township, God. I ask that you guide us and direct us in the paths that you would have us do for our community, Father God, that your Holy Spirit would guide us through every moment of it, God, that your blessing would be upon us as we bring this meeting to order. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great, and then Amy, if you could do roll call, please.
Eugene,
Here.
Lee,
Here.
Michael,
Here.
Heather,
Here.
Nola,
Present.
Amy here, Christie's absent.
Yeah, she's at training. And then we need to do, before we do the approval of agenda, as much as I hate doing it, we have two items that I would like to add to decision items. One being permission to use funds to feed the volunteers who are helping at the free dump day. And then Chief had an unexpected expense. He had an annual generator. Yes, that looked at, yeah, service, yes, annually, and they said there were multiple parts that needed to be replaced. Ended up being more than what the permission is for that decision to be made without the board. So it's coming here.
We approved the agenda with the additions.
Okay. We had a couple other things too in discussion items, one being the Cedar Creek Fire Agreement and Senior Village. They're still good with that?
Yep.
Okay, motion by Eugene. Do we have support? Support by Nola. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, we will do an all in favor. Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, that passes. Next is the approval of past meeting minutes. We have the regular meeting minutes. We'll do two separate motions, and I'll explain when we get to the closed session ones.
I make a motion to approve the past meeting minutes, April 13th, 2026, regular.
All right, motion by Nola. Do we have a support? Support by Lee. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none. Here,
All in favor.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, those are approved and put on file. For the closed session, there were a couple ways we could do this. Amy opted to do this way, which the closed session meeting minutes are in this envelope. We'll start down Michael and pass them down. Each of us can look at them, and then we will vote to leave. Video music playing.
Jeopardy, huh?
Yeah, I've seen them.
I saw him. I wrote.
There you go.
All right. And then we will do the same thing. We'll do a motion, support, and then an all in favor.
I'll make the motion to approve past meeting minutes, B, April 13th, 2026, closed session.
Okay, motion by Michael. Do we have support?
Support.
Support by Nola. And then all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, those pass and will be placed on record. Those are kept for a year and a day, sealed, and then those are destroyed. It's up to you. You can sign it and seal it when you're done with the meeting.
Okay.
All right, and then the next is treasurer's report. Christy is, like I said, she's absent at training. So just the report itself, do we have any questions or concerns regarding the report? All right, we will place that on file. And then next is pay the bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Motion by Nola to pay the bills. Do we have support?
Support.
Who said that? Michael? Okay, support by Michael. And then Amy, or any discussion from the board? Hearing none, Amy, can you do a roll call vote, please? Sure.
Nola,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Lee.
Yeah.
Heather,
Yes.
Eugene,
Yes.
and Christie's absent. Amy, yes.
Right, that passes. Next is the fire department report. Chief, did you have anything to add for your standard report that you do?
No, I just, again, though in the report, I did want to acknowledge ultimately firefighter Cooley passed the state fire instructor one program, which gives us another instructor within the organization. So it's a pretty big thing. And he can lead on into his officer training. So I just wanted to congratulate him. He's out of town today. That's why I'm working for him. But he would celebrate this weekend. But I just wanted to congratulate him on the record officially. And then we can hold off on the other generator stuff.
Okay.
That's it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And then the next thing, while we're still under fire business, there was a request put in by Deputy Fire Chief Stacia Ripley to rehire Casey Stiles. Casey Stiles was on the fire department went to Memphis and was on the fire department there. Currently is on the fire department in Grand Rapids, but is located in Twin Lake. So with his home, he would be able to do those calls. So not full-time, but would be firefighter again to help with those calls.
If I may, the reason we have the deputy do that is because obviously it's related to me,
Right.
it's a thing. So I just, but they're all in support, staff's in support of it. Just
Mhm.
Sweet.
understand why I'm not doing it.
Yeah. So can we just need a motion to rehire Casey Stiles.
I make a motion to rehire Casey Stiles.
Motion by Nolan, do we have support? Support by Lee, any discussion from the board? Hearing none, we could do a roll call vote.
Nola,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Eugene,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Christie absent. Amy, yes.
All right, motion passes. And then the next thing was just the administrative oversight plan. Chief and the firefighters went through, got the list together of all their SOPs, administrative orders, SOGs. Potentially last time they were updated. Some of them were missing dates, but that was due to transfer that happened when there was different lieutenant that was doing the stuff there. They were no longer with. So then when those got downloaded, they just weren't the completed version. So,
Okay, so some of the things that were reported on here happened, but there's just no date to it, correct?
yeah,
Okay.
yep. Yeah, they still stand. They just don't have the last. Yeah, they just don't have the last
They haven't
modification.
been reviewed or anything, they've been reviewed, but they haven't been modified.
Right.
So we just have to-
Okay.
Yep. So now that that is done, and then Cooley and I sat and went through with Chief for a little bit too when he came back. The book that they use for training new firefighters. And there's a lot of info in there too, so that was helpful. But there weren't any other forms or anything that we knew of. We just said if that comes up, we'll put it on that sheet too. We reached out for risk assessment, couldn't find the last, we have had one in the past, we couldn't find the date. And we're looking to get one scheduled end of June, beginning of July
Yeah.
for the whole township. Yeah.
Well,
So, all right, and we'll just place that on file. Any questions from the board on that one? Next is the planning commission report. Lee, did you have anything to add?
Nope.
Okay, any questions from the board? We will place that on file. Planning and zoning staff report. Steve is not here. Is there any questions from the board? Okay, we'll place that on file. Zoning Board of Appeals. Nola, did you have anything to add?
No.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Okay, we'll place that on file as well. Parks and Rec Advisory Committee. Michael, did you have anything to add?
No.
Okay. Any questions from the board? We'll place that on file. Building and grounds report. Justin, did you have anything to add?
Eugene pointed out that underneath the Twin Oakland Cemetery, it's that lighting that they've taken out the control back, that's lightning.
Oh, yeah.
That's worth mentioning.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting find.
Yeah.
All right, any questions from the board? All right, we will place that on file. We are to the first public comment. Aaron Max from Shoreline Trails and Greenways scheduled for a public comment and requested some additional time. This is not in any way saying that the board is in favor of what he is presenting, but just getting information out to the public so that they are aware. If you would like to come up and present.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Mhm.
Let's see. Are you ready to?
You're totally fine.
Right. So I'm Aaron Bottom Mask. I'm the appointed to the Muskegon County Parks Commission. So I live in the city of Muskegon. Been on the Parks Commission. I'm the chair since 2024, when the Parks Commission was first established. Also in the Muskegon County Bicycling Coalition Board. My day job, I work at Ottawa County Parks as a park planner. So I have quite a few years of experience in building trails, funding trails, fundraising, stuff like that. My wife's not here today, but I would want to mention that Steele Baylor, she's Dalton Township born and bred, Reese Proper grad. My in-laws still live over on Ora Street. My father-in-law was a longtime Reese Proper coach and teacher, so I'm very honest. So I'm here to talk to West Michigan Shoreline Trails and Greenways Coalition Commission, the MPO planning agency for the region. Transportation. Sorry, I'm a little off today.
No, you're
a little under the weather, but it's like to catch up with myself. So last year they adopted this Shoreline Trails and Greenways plan, and we're as part of the rollout of the plan, we're going to various local units of Roosevelt Park, going to your board, Muskegon Township Board, Lakeview Township Board, being in contact with other townships to let them know about the plan, what's in it for your local, what it's about overall, what's in it for the Dalton Township, and then how we might get it done. And so it was a collaborative effort funded by MDOT funding, City of Muskegon, Muskegon County, and the Muskegon County Bicycling Coalition got a grant funding. There was a pretty extensive process for public input all over the county. So this is not So this is done with public input plus the steering committee that oversaw it. And it's an update of the 2013 regional bike path plan that was adopted. One thing I just know when you look at some of the stuff, if you don't know, the MPO includes Northwest Ottawa County, and it's all based on census data. So it's not just Muskegon County, it's a little part of Ottawa County too. Just some quick maps. One thing when I do these presentations, there's a big recreational side to trails, but there's also a transportation side, as Justin can say. He tries to bike to work down Russell Road, and that's a tough road. And one thing to know, one of the neat parts of the plan is there's some good maps, because at any time, about 1/3 of the people in the United States can't drive. They're too young, they've aged out, they have disability, or they can't afford it. And so this just tells you where these series of maps that I'll put just shows where those different demographics are. So the darker color is more than 30% 65 or older, especially along the lakeshore. There's quite a few young people, and your township has a good number of young people in the southern part of the township. So that's more than 20 to 30%. And then here we're getting into affordability with cars. So getting more and more expensive to buy a car. Like the average car sales like $50,000. Here you have according to census, pretty good median household income, but for Muskegon County, it's $65,000, and some parts of the community are much lower than that. And this shows that household in poverty, the urban core, but also some rural areas have 10% or more in poverty. And then there's this map that shows that there's just some parts of the county where you'd be surprised that like 20% of the households don't own a car, which is pretty hard to imagine getting by. But when I we go often on Norton and Seaway intersection all the time. I see people coming over to the Walmart, to the Meijer, to McDonald's and stuff like that, walking every day. One of the things the plan did is inventory the number of non-motorized pathways. So these are trails over, not a sidewalk, but 8 foot wide or wider. There's 60 miles in Muskegon County. All of Muskegon County, there's a few being added this year on Apple Avenue and Roosevelt Park. And there'll be connecting Laketon Trail to Lakeshore Trail, hopefully later this summer. Just in Northwest Ottawa County, just like Grand Haven Spring Lake area, there's 88 miles total. In Southwest Ottawa County, which this map shows, in the Holland area, Zealand area, there's 227 miles in that area. In Ottawa County Parks, at my day job, we manage 40 miles of trails, and then we're building 16 more. So one of those includes what I work on. One of my main projects is to build a trail from Grand Haven to the border of Kent County. It's a 36-mile trail. We're building about 27 miles of it. So in Ottawa County total, there'd probably be 400 miles of trail. Kent County has a ton of trails. The other counties are way ahead of us for our size. Obviously, Ottawa and Kent are bigger, but England County has quite a few trails, Washtenaw County, etc. One thing with the public input I mentioned, but it's not just at the level of this plan, but at the local plans. It's part of this process that I'm working on. I talk at the back end. I've been reading local parks plans, and a lot of local parks plans mention trails as either a goal or a high level goal. So it's something that's in demand, and these just show the ones where it's mentioned how many, if it's a specific goal in their park plan. So if there's any questions while I'm talking, feel free to ask. But the kind of the outcomes from the high level of the plan for the trying to do a trail network, because we have a great backbone. I'll show in another map of a trail kind of through the county on the Muscatella Trail, and the Berry Junction Trail and the Lakeshore Trail, is to get to two different communities. So out to Grand Rapids, down to Grand Haven, out to Fremont, get access to natural features. Berry Junction Trail is a good example. It's a long way down Giles to Pioneer Park. From there, if you want to go to Lakeshore and building, speaking of trails, they're building, Dalton Township, Fruitland Township apparently has $9 million funding to build a trail on Scenic Drive from Center to Duck Lake State Park. So, but it'd be a long way to get to that trail for people in your township. And then access to daily needs. Like I said, a lot of people don't own a car and could use biking or walking just to go to the grocery store, get to their job, to help get to school. The plan also identified guiding principles and trying to like, there's some prioritization in the plan, but some things you'll notice that scenic drive was not as high priority as other places, but if things ready to go, they'll move up. But things that make sense is just when you don't always see bike paths maybe as heavily used as you think, well, that's because they don't connect to enough things. There's not enough of a network. The network is not robust enough to get people out and use it. They need to be able to go wherever from their starting point to their finished destination. Efficiency is just building off the current network. Safety is a huge one. And I want you to access they recently in their crash data, they've had more pedestrian bike crashes recently. And that's going up where other accidents are trending downward. So the results of the plan, this is the plan map for the whole region. Again, it has that part of Grand Haven, Spring Lake. So the solid purple is the existing regional trails and trail system. The dotted purple lines are the official adopted plan for the area. And then, so at my day job, I do GIS. And so in my free time, I took the map and tried to bring it down to just the focus on the county to do these meetings and focus on the township. So the black lines are the main network. The purple lines are the official proposed trails, and orange lines are ones. I've noticed that probably the plan, they had to do it in kind of a condensed time, and I don't think they caught every route. So those are ones that maybe we could add to the plan as we go. We have a quarterly meeting, and anybody from this group is kind of welcome to come on the township. But Kim Carter comes from township. It includes the county, the city, and others. One that we did add based on Justin's input is this orange line on Russell Road, because that would make sense to go from a future trail, this trail here, but it is one that it's been talked about a long time to get from the Berry Junction Trail to Fremont and the White Pine Trail and the Dragon Trail. And then the other stuff is all the greens like public land, that's parkland, the Resource Recovery Center, and some other large parcels that are owned by nonprofits. So when you add up all those purple lines, what does that get to? It's 183 proposed miles of trails. So plan to implement the full thing, you go from 60 miles to 240 miles, right? And those additional concepts are another 45 miles. So wanted a quick return to the slide I had earlier, 183, going from 60 to 240 sounds really hard and kind of a daunting task, but it can be done. It's been done by other communities in the area. So it's, and that's been building a network since the 80s in those places. This is just wanted to show quick the official breakdown maps, and these are the green ones are the high priority, like the one here along the old the existing railroad, do like a railwood trail to Fremont. Yellow is medium priority and red is lower priority, but those aren't set in stone. There's something that, like I said, this is a yellow priority, but they're working on it right now. Then Eastern County, out by the Muscatella Trail and the Resource Recovery Center. And one thing they wanted to do is get across, they kind of go outside of the county to get across river flats there, because it's very wide, and going down Maple Island Road is be a pretty challenging bike path to build. Yeah. And then this is the urban core kind of network where there's more density of trails you can see on there, but there's also more people, and there's some infrastructure that you could adapt that's either former rail, abandoned rail, or something like airline and Muskegon Heights. That's it's a very big road that nobody drives on much anymore. So back to the plan, like I said, I gave the context in overall, but wanted to show, zoom in on Dalton Township. So it get you, it kind of connect, around the township, kind of get from Berry Junction Trail across the highway to Lakewood Club and up to Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp area. Get to Twin Lake County Park, and pass back up to White Lake Road, and then back over, and then have this rail trail. And then the Russell Road is a good one because that, I think, yeah, transportation wise, but it's also, I think it starts to get, the northern part of it gets pretty scenic. And then on to Blue Lake Township, it's really scenic up there. Also, we have the one I would say to add is along River Road, get this bike path connected to the Reese Parker campus and on towards Maple Island. So overall, 8 miles of routes proposed for Dalton Township in the plan. All those kind of connectivities, get to schools like Reese Buffer, go down Giles. There's a pathway down Giles to some of the school things there, and then up to neighboring communities, and of course to necessities. Then the big question, obviously, when you say, "Oh, you're going to build 183 miles of trail," how are you going to fund it? So that's been a long-term discussion, and at the Muskegon County Parks Commission. One of the things that I've seen in the parks plans and that we got in the county parks plan and the shoreline trail and greenways plan is that it seems like residents want more parks amenities and trail amenities. That's in demand. Right now, the county park system is completely funded by camp revenue and parking fees. There's 3 full-time employees, and it's like $1 million budget. There's no like room to do anything else more with the current budget at the county level. But also there's a lot of go here a second. There's also a big stat of deferred maintenance at the county level. We are constructing a new bathroom at Pioneer Park this year, so that's pretty exciting. We had an $800,000 budget and it's ended up at 1.1 million. And they even had a grant to help, but that completely depleted the little bit of fund balance they had to do that. And there's just not room with the county's general fund level to add more to it, at least from what I hear, even though the commissioners would like it, it's just very tight at the county budget level. There's also, I see in parks plans, not just that wanting more amenities, but there's a lot of needs to upgrade and renovate local parks too. So what we talked about, and we're looking at trying to get in the November ballot is $500,000 for 10 years, countywide, with 70% going to the county parks and trails to fund this plan. Anything in those purple routes would be eligible for funding. And then 30% would go to local units on a per capita basis. And then looking on this year's equalization report, it'd be about $50,000 for Dalton Township annually. And that would be, all you'd have to do is just say what you're going to use it for, and then it'd be distributed. I think the senior millage works kind of like that as well. We would also fund recreational improvements at the county fairgrounds and staff support. The county fairgrounds is a very popular place with big events, and they're still run all by volunteers. And they really need the staff support. We would and then we would also provide local support for grant writing and park planning. And then also, obviously, one thing if you're paying with your tax, we would right now residents pay full price at $25 to go to Pioneer Park or Twin Lake County Park to eliminate parking fees. So according to the equalization report, it's $270,000 for the average home sale last year. So max you would pay, if you SED would be half if you just bought it, so that's $67 annually. That'd be the most you pay on the average house right now. So those are the main components we're talking about. That's a policy that Parks Commission is going to look at on Wednesday. We're also looking to make a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners to put it on the ballot. The thing about doing it in the November election, there's no cost to the election. We're just trying, part of it is where I work, we pay $25,000 to do a poll. We don't have the money at the county level to do a poll. This way we find out, we believe that there's a lot more interest and demand for for more park amenities. This would be a really powerful way to pay for it. It also helps you, there's a lot of money we miss out on because we don't have matching funds that the Muskegon area is really competitive for. I write grants at my department, and we've gotten projects that we paid $500,000 in millage money and done $8 million projects. But we won't, if we don't put it on the ballot, we don't know where the voters are at. The voters may reject it, but then at least we know how far we got to go, and then also tell the county we need to go back to general fund if that's where what the voters decide. So part of my goal in talking about the plan and how to implement it is to loop in all the local units to know if this is going to be on the ballot, that you know what this is and you can talk to your residents about it, just the facts about it and pointing it back to us. If it was approved, there's a parks plan that we'd update, the shoreline trails and greenways plan, obviously your boards approve your what you use your parks fund for. The county board would approve any project, and the Parks Commission would also approve any project that be done. Just to recap, what the millage vision for regional trails, anything that's purple would be eligible for funding. We're not going to build 180 miles in 10 years, but we hope to build around, I think get to 20 in 10 years and maybe more if local units put some of their money towards it. Then also the county staff would be available to help you get projects done in your community, not like by getting grants, by helping with easement acquisition, things like that, and working with engineers. So that's the kind of the concept of the Shoreline Trails and Greenways plan. That's the concept of the millage. Thanks for your time for the public comment. I available for questions. When we get we'll have an official, if we get it on the ballot, I can come back with a detailed millage presentation or share that with you when we give it. Yeah.
Question. Just on an average, what does it cost for a mile of trail?
That varies from, we're building 3 miles for $500 or $1 million in Ottawa County this summer. But then we have bids on Wednesday for 3 miles that might cost $3 million. So it's somewhere between, $300,000 to $1 million per mile. That depends on the infrastructure. We had, if you know where Stearns Bayou is, there's a bridge there that we expanded. That was a $3 million for 400 feet. So some miles are easier than others, but trail miles can be expensive.
Mm-hmm. So these are paved trails?
Paved trails, that would be at least 8 foot wide. So that the idea is why that width is you can fit 2 people passing. A lot of these times, people have their dogs or their strollers. Or my neighbor, he's in his 80s. He rides his electric wheelchair from our house to the farmers market on the trail system. So it makes it easy to get through.
Mm-hmm. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
So we appreciate it.
All right. Any other public comments? Okay, we will move on to our decision items. The first one is for resolution 2026-12. That is for the DNR passport grant. So we put in some applications, and this should have happened a little bit earlier in the process, but due to me, I read it and I thought the deadline was different. And then when we put in the applications, realized that the deadline was not different. So they gave us permission to do it in this meeting, even though it's technically a little bit late. So, the deal with these, and we kind of talked about it a little bit in the budget session, when we did the work session, was we have that money coming in from the tower easement. The tower easement money is, well, should be 350,000. Both of these were matching funds. They are reimbursing grants. So that means that we put forth our monies first. Every bit of money that we spent after that gets reported to them. They reimburse it to us. Both projects we put in as a total of 200,000, and we're meeting it with 50,000. So the DNR would be granting 150,000 for both of those. This first one is for, let's see, the pathways in the bathrooms. So we have those bathrooms in the existing Beagle Sports Park building, but the plumbing was super outdated. So it would need new plumbing and reconfiguration of that bathroom space and a door put on that accesses to the outside of the building, because they're only accessible from the interior right now. And then adding a pathway that continues from where the table is currently at the playground to the little sidewalk that goes outside of the bathroom. So that's what this first one is. So we just need a motion on that resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-12, DNR passport grant.
Right. Motion by Michael. Do we have support?
Or
Support by Eugene. Any discussion from the board? Right. Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
Michael,
Yes.
Eugene,
yes,
Nola,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Amy, yes, Christie, absent.
Right, that passes. And then the next one is similar, resolution 2026-13. This is for pathways and additional paved parking. We'd like to try to accomplish at least a full parking lot, even if it doesn't go as deep as the parking lot is currently. But they had only gotten a strip in the last time, so there's like 8, I don't know if it's 8 or 10 spots there that are paved. But there are some paved spots. So this would be to do parking lot improvements and pathways through the park to connect some of those areas as well. Same thing with the matching funds. The total for the project would be 200,000. DNR giving 150,000, us doing a 25% amount of 50,000.
I'd like a motion to approve resolution 2026-13 DNR passport grant.
All right, motion by Nola. Do we have support? Support by Lee. Was you right, Lee?
Yeah.
All right, any discussion from the board? Hearing none, we will do a roll call vote.
Nola,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Eugene,
yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Amy, yes, Christie, absent.
All right, that passes. I will get those signed and sent over so that they can attach them to the applications. Next is the road contract for Dawson Road. We talked about this, I don't know if it was last meeting or the meeting before, in a discussion item. So we would have had the money pull out in the budget, but then the culvert on Bark Road went. So if we do this, which again, when would you ever have two boards that are actually going to work together at the same time? But the total for us, this was split between Cedar Creek, us, and the road commission. You'll see that on the second page of the contract. So the total estimated project is $686,000. Cedar Creek's fund is $171,500. Same with us. And then the road commission is taking half. We have again, that money is that is coming in from that easement agreement that we did. If the board does approve it, there's another thing next that would be doing a budget adjustment to account for some of that. So we need either a motion to approve or deny.
I make a motion to approve the local road project contract, Dawson Road.
Right,
It's gotta get done.
motion by Nola, do we have support?
Support.
Support by Amy. Any discussion from the board? All right, hearing none, we will do a roll call vote.
Noah.
Yes.
Amy, yes. Eugene.
Yes.
Heather.
Yes.
Lee.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Christie absent.
All right, motion passes. So with that being said, the next thing is to make sure that there's money in that fund. Attached, I ran these by Heather. Attached is the recommended adjustments to kind of maneuver some of the monies that were in the GLs and to add some extra funds in there due to those two bigger projects. It still gives us a little bit of a cushion as well if there's something else that happens. So
So I make a motion to approve the budget adjustments to road budget.
all right, motion by Nola. Do we have support?
Support.
Support by Eugene. Any discussion from the board? Okay, hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
Noah.
Yes.
Eugene.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Heather.
Yes.
Lee.
Yes.
Amy, yes. Christie absent.
All right, motion passes. Next is a bill of sale. We can't donate. So that's why a lot of sometimes when there are contracts, things are listed for like $1 or $5. We were made aware of a municipality in the UP, right, Chief?
Correct.
That would be interested in taking our slightly used turnout gear, even though it is not up to the NFPA standard. So this is just a bill of sale that says that they acknowledge that it is not up to that standard. It's just the expiration that the NFPA says that you need to, but they're running with gear that's probably way older than that. They're super rural departments up there in the UP and they have very limited funding. So they would be very grateful for things that would cover their skin and they won't get burned. So just need a motion to approve that bill of sale.
I make a motion to approve the bill of sale between Dalton Township and Detour Village.
All right, motion by Nola. Do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Michael. Any discussion from the board? All right, hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
No.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Lee.
Yes.
Heather.
Yes.
Eugene.
Yes.
Amy, yes. Christie absent.
All right, motion passes. Next is payroll ACH best practice. Kind of going through some things. How things maybe were being done in the past. So Amy, the clerk, is requesting that payroll ACHs be done by 4 p.m. on Wednesdays. Over the last year or longer since Amy's been in office, they do them on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. We're not in on Fridays. The absolute deadline is 4 p.m. on Thursday. That doesn't give a lot of room for error. And there was just some discussion back and forth. Chrissy was out this week for training, so she wasn't going to be in until Thursday. And then it was, what is the rule? You know, is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday? So Amy wanted this brought to the board so that we could get a best practice in place, and then that would be added to a policy or procedure. We've been going through them and looking at updating so that we can bring those to the board. So just wanting to put that out there.
So this would give a cushion, just a more, a more set in stone. cushion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just in case, say the power went out or,
Yeah,
you
makes
know,
sense.
Well, and then that way too, it gives, so say Christy knows that she's not gonna be here till Thursday, but she knows that it needs to happen Wednesday. She's already got that in her mind, 2 weeks in advance. She's got her deputy set up. She's got all the stuff. I think it just gives a clearer, expectation too, and there's not like a weird, well, this is the rule, or this used to be the rule, or we always did it this way, or, it just helps make it, yes, yes.
I'll make a motion to approve payroll ACH best practice as stated above.
Right. Motion by Michael. Do we have support?
Support.
Support by Lee. Any discussion from the board? All right. Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
Michael,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Eugene,
No,
Noah,
Yes.
Amy, yes. Christie absent.
Right. Motion passes. All right, and then we had the two other things. We have money for food. We have the free dump day on Saturday. And we'd like to be able to provide the volunteers and staff that are working that event with lunch. I put 300. I don't think that would get spent. But would like to be able to make some like ham and cheese sandwiches, pasta salads, get water, sodas for people to have while they're there volunteering. It wasn't in the budget, so I wanted to bring it so that it, if approved, then that's an expenditure that we could do.
I make a motion to approve no more than 300 to feed the volunteers and staff working the free dump day for Dalton Township.
All right, motion by Nola. Do we have support?
Support.
Support by Eugene. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Noah,
Yes.
Eugene,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Amy, yes. Christie absent.
All right. And then next is the generator costs, which we mentioned earlier in the meeting. So Chief had the annual maintenance done, our service done on the generator. And this time they said that there was need for repairs. It is just over what would be something that we could decide. So it is $5,236.12. So if we could get a motion to have the repairs completed.
Can I ask, how
Mhm.
old is this generator? Is it
Original to the bill.
original to the building?
Yeah.
I would much prefer not to go into the debacle we had a few years ago about buying a new generator.
Yeah.
Because
Theirs has been
discussion
trustworthy.
About buying a generator and
How much of a generator?
$70,000.
70,000? Okay, I make a motion to approve. Fire Chief
Pretty much.
Alan Stiles signing the agreement for repair on the fire department generator.
All right. Motion by Nola. Do we have support?
Support.
Support by Amy. Any discussion from the board? All right, hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
Noah,
Yes.
yes. Eugene?
Yeah.
Heather,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Christie absent.
Thank you.
And then we'll go into discussion items. We have, as mentioned, the free dump day is this weekend on Saturday from 8 to 4. So if you have anything that you need to dump, that is the day to do it. We are not doing tires that day. Just they're not part of the normal,
Right.
household garbage, so we're trying to avoid doing that. But we're still hoping that we'll have a tire day, later on in the year.
Right.
So worth mentioning, no liquids, gas, paint, anything like that.
Mhm. And the county or not road commission, the county yes, waste is giving us a sign too that will be closer out as people are pulling in that says what you can't dump. And then we'll have the workers know too, so that they're not like
Yeah.
throwing stuff into the bins.
Right.
Um
So no oil either, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
mhm.
Mhm.
And then the next thing is veterans flags. Those are going on Wednesday this week. The girls have been getting people together to go and place the flags in Twin Lake Cemetery,
6 p.m.
6 p.m. And then just thought I would mention that Kennedy, so Kennedy is what has she got? Her bachelor's or associate's bachelor's in human resources. So she's kind of like a super good asset to have. When we mentioned the admin oversight, I asked Kennedy if she would make one that was for the township. So she started modifying the one that we did for the fire department for the township. So that will come in the next board meeting, so that we could start getting our stuff together as well. And then Cedar Creek fire protection agreement, we sat down with Chief and I sat down with the supervisors from Muskegon Charter, Holton and Cedar Creek, and the fire chiefs from those respective departments to talk about the agreement. It looked like over the last few years it just had a steady increase, and the question was, did it stay at that steady increase? Chief was going to run numbers. The other fire chiefs were going to run numbers and make sure that the percentage still made sense. Once they kind of seemed like they got like within their little agreement thing, seems like it's good, we'll bring that to the board too for approval. But just so you guys knew where that was at in the process. Senior millage money. Over the next few months, we have to make a decision on what we would like to do with the senior millage money. We've traditionally done plowing and the remainder of the funds going to age well services. We can continue to do that this year. And an ulterior option is we could get some information together to bring to the next meeting on how we could survey the seniors in our township.
We also did lawn service.
A while past, yeah, we haven't done that for a few years, yeah. So, but we could get some options on a survey to send out. I think the most makes the most amount of sense is to do a mailing. And then it would be, do we do return envelopes or not, so that they can mail them back to us? Kennedy did a rough number of seniors in our municipality is 2,700, but some of those live within the same household. So we could do mailings with surveys and try to figure out what the residents want, as they're the ones who would receive that. Or we can just keep on keeping on. If you guys would like us to bring options, then we can work on getting that together.
Why was lawn care cut?
So I feel like vaguely I remember lawn care being in it when I first started.
Yeah, because my aunt had hers done several times, and I know that as people get older, that's a hard chore for them to do. And I know the village has a 6-inch limit, or we're gonna cut it and charge you.
Right. And I don't know if it was a service that we were getting through Living Word and they don't do it anymore. I don't really know.
Them.
But I know that over the last few years when Chris has come to present, it has just been it's the plowing.
I didn't
So-
even notice that lawn cutting,
Yeah.
but I just started taking over her lawn anyway.
Yeah. So, but we could, look into that if that were an option on there. Like, would people rather have, their lawns mowed than have plowing?
So it'd be either or.
Right. Or would they rather have both of those things over money's going to age well? So it would just be a survey to kind of get all that data together on what the senior residents actually would benefit from. I don't know that that's ever happened. So,
Yeah, I know over in Montague, they have with their senior stuff, they have farmers market.
and we got a letter from them, towards the end of last year. We got a letter from Montague saying we could also be part of that program. I think that they do something similar or do something at the Muskegon Farmers Market too.
Michigan Farmers Market always starts the second Tuesday in July, and they give out every Tuesday. They give out to any seniors that show up there.
Yeah.
Registered, whatever.
Yeah, and I don't know if
During
we
the
could
day.
do.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have to come in during the daytime hours.
What did they give out?
little
Coupons,
tokens.
coupons like
Tokens, okay.
$4 or $6 that you can save them throughout the whole summer and use them in the fall. You can spend them that day. You can use them whenever you want, and you can use them on any farmer's market day.
Yeah,
Okay.
But it's for produce and,
yeah.
you know.
And some of the vendors are super nice about it too, and they'll
Yep.
be like, oh, you have, you're using a token. They might even like give you a better deal.
Okay,
So,
sweet.
mhm.
We've been
Thank you.
doing that for a long time. So.
Yeah.
you.
So, but there might be some other things that we could look into, as far as farmers market as well. Like if there's an option for vouchers, I don't know. I heard that another community did something with the Muskegon Farmers Market as well. So, but yeah, if you guys are okay with it, we'll kind of get some information together and bring it to the next packet, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
good idea, Rachel.
and then the next thing is public comment. Does the public have a comment? Any public comment?
Public, yeah, no.
Public comment. All right, no public comment. We just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Nola. Do we have support?
Support.
Support by Lee. Any discussion from the board? We are adjourned at.
All in favor?
Oh, yeah. All in favor. Any opposed? Okay. And then we are officially adjourned. I think it is 11:57.
Oh, 7.
7?
Oh, 7.
6:58.
6:58.
Yeah.
6:58. Praise the Lord.